Hey guys, it's Christian here today, bringing you a brand new video on this sunny Christchurch morning. Just finished coaching all the morning classes and PDs and everything, so your boy is pretty tired, but get this video out of the way quickly. First things first, as always, thank you very much to everyone who watched last week's video. I really do appreciate it. As always, the link to the YouTube channel will be in the Facebook description. If you enjoyed it, subscribe, leave a like. Really do appreciate it. Great feedback from the video, great support, so thank you to everyone who took the time to watch it. Getting straight into this week's video, as you can see from the title, pretty straightforward. Should coaches practice what they preach? This is not so much something that I get asked a lot. This is not something that I think most people that start the sport or start CrossFit or any real sport consider. But after you've been in it for a couple of years as a coach itself, at some stage or some point, it definitely it's a pretty interesting conversation to have. So I thought I would give you my opinion and just my reasoning behind what I think about it. Should coaches practice what they preach? So just skipping all the bullshit, getting straight to the point. I completely understand that a statement, when someone gives you an advice or someone gives you a cue or someone gives you information, that information is not necessarily true or false based on the characteristics of the person that gave you that advice. For example, if I were to say to you, that if a mathematician tells you that 2 plus 2 is 4, that statement isn't true because a mathematician told you that 2 plus 2 is 4. That statement is true because we can analyze and verify and review that statement is in fact, true. In the same way that if someone with severely impaired cognitive faculties told you that 2 plus 2 is 4, that statement is not false because the person that told you that 2 plus 2 is 4 has severely impaired cognitive faculties. It's true because, again, we can review and verify that it is true. That is on a very simple level, so don't get me wrong, I completely understand that, things are not true and false based on characteristics of people making the statements. It doesn't change the validity of that statement. However, when we address, I'm going to address coaching specifically. I believe that coaches, or like I like to call myself, I'm a human performance coach. That's what I do. I'm a human performance coach. I manage athletes. I don't just train. I don't just clap hands. I don't just supervise. I don't just walk past my athletes once in a fucking class. I coach you. I manage your performance. Human performance coach. I believe we need to hold ourselves to the same standard as doctors and accountants. We need to hold ourselves to that standard, because if we don't hold ourselves to that standards, we'll never be taken seriously. There's this whole joke thing, of personal trainers, and people don't really point and laugh at them, but just out of common courtesy. But I mean, at the general gist of it, people don't take coaching as a serious occupation. While when I take a lot of pride in working as a human performance coach, and it is what it is. I see myself at that level, and I wouldn't treat myself as anything less than that, or promote myself, or coach my athletes like I am. You don't want to be going to a shitty doctor, who doesn't have faith in himself. I have faith in my methods, and I have faith in the way I coach, and it's because I hold myself to that standard. And I believe that coaches all, around the world, I don't give a fuck what they call themselves, but, we need to hold ourselves to that standard. And my personal opinion is that I believe that coaches should either practice what they preach, either at the level or higher than the level that they're trying to coach. Here's the gist of it, the logic. You're not going to take advice from a broke accountant, right? You're not going to take dietary advice from a fat nutritionist. You're not going to take health advice from an unhealthy doctor. It's just, you don't take financial advice from a broke person. It's that same argument. I mean, why would you take strength conditioning advice from someone that's not strong and not conditioned? Right? Why would you take strength advice? You want to squat 200. Why would you take squatting advice from someone who doesn't competently squat 100 or 120 or 140? It's not a good idea. It's not, logically, this doesn't make sense. All right, that person might give you advice that is correct, but I mean, situationally, it's probably going to be completely out of context. Here's my reasoning for it. I believe that for example, let's say you're a coach who only works with on-ramp or beginner athletes. You don't need to be an extremely special human. You don't need to have extremely athletic prowess. You don't need to be athletically blessed, right? If your sole purpose or job is coaching beginners, is taking people into their first, let's say, on-ramp class or whatever, the beginner's course, and just getting them moving safely. I mean, making sure they don't shit their spine out of their ass. Your primary focus is to get them to move safely. All you need to do is you need to be able to demonstrate the movements competently. You need to be able to do a decent barbell back squat. You need to be able to do a decent press. You need to be able to do decent deadlift. You need to understand the mechanics and everything involved in that, what a correct deadlift looks like, etc., etc. You don't need a 200 kilo back squat and a 250 deadlift and a sub 3 Fran and a 2-minute Diane. You don't need those special numbers for. Sorry, this just kept messaging me. Fuck, I should turn off my messages. You don't need to be this extremely special athlete to be able to coach, just plain and simple, beginners. However, as you move up in the ranks with the type of athletes that you're coaching, I believe that your ability as a athlete or, as a coach needs to be high. I mean, I understand that maybe in that moment, you're like, let's say you're 40 years ago, you competed at the Olympics. Granted, you're not going to be at that same level anymore, but you've had that experience of competing at that level. So, if we look at all the best coaches in the world, they have either, competed at that level themselves, whether that's currently or, a long time ago. We look at some of the best coaches. The best coaches in the world have all done that shit themselves. I believe that it's so because the process of being an athlete and working through the system, and then gradually, being exposed and becoming a coach, I believe that gives you a completely different perspective on how to coach athletes. You can just be, your normal 9 to 5 kind of blue collar coach who just, you've been doing CrossFit for a year or so, and I mean, you kind of like fitness and you understand what a squat is and a deadlift is, and you'll be fine coaching beginners because, I mean, you're not teaching any real athleticism. You're not teaching people how to squat 150, 180, 200, 200 plus. You can stick to your standard cues, knees out, chest up, sit back, you tight back, bracing, but like these common cues, these everyday cues, these cues that keep the normal people safe. However, when you graduate towards coaching athletes, when you graduate towards helping performance, athletes or humans that are performance orientated, I believe personally that you need to either operate at that level or higher. My reasoning behind this being that if you're when you become to squatting like 180, 200, 200 plus, for example, your standard cues like knees out, they become redundant. They become unnecessary. They're not cues that will benefit an athlete trying to squat 220, 200. These cues are unnecessary for them. They're not the type of advice that athlete needs. They're not necessarily trying to fix positioning as much as they need. We need to address other things, breathing and bracing and all kinds of things that become far more detailed and things that I believe you could only coach if you've experienced them yourselves. Coaching a 200 kilo back squat is nothing like coaching from a textbook. They're fundamentally different. Coaching a 200 kilo back squat is nothing like coaching an air squat. They're completely different conversations. They're completely different movements. I'm willing to go that far to say so. And I believe that your ability to coach those things will be largely limited to your experience doing those things. I mean, besides, I'd feel pretty fucking stupid trying to coach a muscle up to athletes and be like, hey, we'll do a muscle up. Let's go to the screen and play a YouTube video because I can't do a muscle up myself. If a coach is in front of me trying to teach me a movement that I can't do, I'd be pretty pissed off if they can't show me how to do it themselves. Because I wouldn't say I would lose respect for them. I would just kind of be like, yeah, you can't really. Maybe it's just the dick in me that's just like, you can't do it. Who are you to tell me how to do it? I've never been being told what to do, so maybe that's just what it is. But from a personal position, from just my 100% my opinion, if you're trying to reach a certain level, make sure the coach that is that you've chosen to help you reach that level operates at that level or higher. It's just that simple. You want to operate at a really high level, you need a coach that has experienced either that level or higher. I'm not going to be walking around coaching people 300 kilo squats. mostly because, I don't squat 300. It's that simple. I'm not going to be going around giving people advice on how to squat 300. It's simple as that. I don't give Rich Froning advice on how to be better at CrossFit because I haven't operated at that level or higher. It's not my playground. It's not what I know. And to operate and give advice at that level would be ignorant at best. All right, so the general message for this is, guys, I would love to know your thoughts. Actually, I would love, please comment below. Give me your thoughts. Do you think coaches should practice what they preach? I mean, I think if you want to hold yourself to that standard of a human performance coach or someone who manages humans' performance, I believe you need to be able to operate at an extremely high level. I believe that especially CrossFit coaches need to be extremely competent at movements. It's that simple. You need to be fucking strong and fucking fit. That is my opinion. I mean, I said mostly because I wouldn't take advice from anyone that's not. It's just I would never again. I've done it before, and I came out second. I came out so far second. So just because I've learnt my lesson, I would never again take advice from someone who doesn't operate at my level or higher. It's as simple as that. The best results I've ever gotten were from people that were a lot better than I am. It's just the way it is, and the results speak for themselves. It is. So I would love to know your thoughts, guys. Please comment below. Please, just comment below. Give me your thoughts. Do you think coaches should practice what they preach? I would love to know others' opinion. It's not really something that I've ever discussed with other people, so I would love to know your thoughts. Please comment below. Let me know what you think, and we'll start an interesting conversation. All right. Thanks for taking your time out today. I'm actually having some water today because I've been fucking coaching like 6 hours today, so I'm just completely out of it. I'm gonna hydrate. Today's my rest day. Going for what am I doing tomorrow? I think I'm deadlifting something here. I'm pulling something heavy off the ground again after that 170 clean. So feeling pretty good. Having some steaks, some meats. I actually did have a salad today, so fucking good on me. Alright guys, I will catch you all next week. Please, like I said, comment below, let me know what you think. Stay safe, stay humble, do your squats, and I will see you all next time. Cheers guys.